The crazy mother-in-laws strike again this Thanksgiving. Redditors from r/no-mother-in-law share their crazy stories. Thrown out before 11 AM for slicing potatoes the wrong way. Dear husband and I agreed to come over early to help cook for tonight. By that I mean, me and mother-in-law are washing and drying produce, cutting everything up, and basically doing all the prep so that when we actually do the cooking later it is streamlined. Apparently, I cut the potatoes wrong, and she told me to get out of her fucking house if I don't know how to help. My DH is leaving with me. I had already bought a bunch of stuff on sale because she never lets us take leftovers, so we are going home, and I'll just make a full Thanksgiving on my own and have leftovers for weeks. F her. Never go back. If she is like this over potato slicing, it is not worth the effort. Congratulations on a mother-in-law free holiday. I'm seconding this. She's going to have a real hard time prepping dinner tonight. Yep. And prepping for a dinner that won't include her Barbie. Probably lots of mother-in-law crocodile tears. Mother-in-law tear seasoned potatoes anyone. That's not how Thanksgiving is supposed to work. It's supposed to be about gratitude and love, not control freaking. Not quite so nasty, but I still feel the sting from when I was helping chop veggies. Actually asked if they wanted me to do it any particular way, was told no, and then was scolded for how I chopped them. Guess who doesn't offer to chop veggies anymore? Lady, what sort of scam are you trying to run? Everyone knows Thanksgiving and the holidays is about passive aggression, guilt tripping, overspending, bitchiness and quarreling. Don't you be starting any of that newfangled peace, goodwill, and gratitude business here. I got the overspending nailed down. Yeah, but I do that anyway. You forgot arguing about politics. Wow. This reminds me of my future mother-in-law. I offered to help with prep once, and she gave me a red onion to peel and chop. She proceeded to stand over my shoulder and watch, and then squealed in horror at the way I was doing it. She snatched the onion away and cut the rest of it herself. That was the first and last time I ever offered. I feel you, OP. Unbelievable craziness. Glad you got out of there. I have a disproportionate reaction when onions are being cut. Like I have to be in a different well-ventilated room when onions are being cut, and for about 20 minutes after. I could absolutely not cut them self. But it's so lovely to no longer be told about how I can't cut vegetables. Seriously, do people really care? Potatoes are wrong. Thanksgiving is cancelled. Not to say that they won't digest the same in the end either way, but if she wants perfection she can do it herself. You tried to help, and she spat it back in your face. That's all on her. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Were the potatoes going to be used for mashed potatoes? Because the end result literally doesn't matter how the potatoes were cut. This was my first thought too. Exactly. My ex-husband and I got into an argument once, because when I make mashed potatoes I dice my potatoes and his mother slices them thin. Excuse me, WTF. This is why mine are thick and fluffy and hers are dead and runny. Stupid. Especially when you aren't the one cooking. Ever. It takes a lot of nerve to criticize the technique of the person actually doing the work. Did he offer to take over and do it mommy's way? Diced is clearly the correct way. I had an ex who sliced them thin. It was so strange. Mother-in-law announces to the entire family that there will be a new addition to the family soon, effectively ruining my Thanksgiving. Aren't holidays fun with mother-in-laws? I can't tell you how much I love the holidays with these people out of my life. So 2 Thanksgivings ago our in-laws, miraculously, agreed to come stay with us instead of us driving the 4 hours to spend it with them. We had a guest bedroom and enough space to prepare and host dinner, so it worked out. A little backstory, me in-laws and so were obsessed with me getting pregnant. Even when we were just dating they were trying to get me to agree with it. Holy hell, they all wanted a baby so badly. Never mind the fact that I wanted to be married and have a house and be financially stable. None of that mattered. They all just wanted a baby. Thank God for birth control. By the Thanksgiving in this story, we are married and have a house, but still no plans for a baby. Anyway, so they came over for Thanksgiving, and while I was cooking, mother-in-law was digging through my bathroom closets and cabinets. No idea what she was looking for, but the worst she was going to find were tampons, so it didn't bother me too much. When she doesn't find anything, she comes into the kitchen and starts digging through my cabinets there. I asked her if I could help her find something and all she said was no. But the smirk on her face told me otherwise. Then she finds a small cabinet where I keep supplements and pulls out my bottle of prenatal vitamins. I had been taking them for years, even before I met my so at the recommendation of my OBGYN in case of an oopsie baby. They didn't mean anything. But mother-in-law bursts into tears and tells me how excited she was. I didn't even have a chance to explain myself before she runs out of the kitchen and announces to everyone that there will be a new addition to the family soon. I was mortified, but it was a little fun crushing her hopes and dreams by telling her the truth. Wishing everyone a drama-free Thanksgiving. Edits. First, she was a hardcore snooper. I once caught her going through my dresser drawers, which got her permanently banned from the upstairs. I learned my lesson as far as keeping personal things like medications out in the open, meaning hidden behind shampoos and towels, when she was around. It all got moved upstairs. As far as birth control, I had an IUD, hahaha. No tampering with me. Condoms were upstairs too. Second, this is how it all went down. After she made an ass of herself, so I'm standing there, and I must have had a horrified look on my face, because not one person was smiling or excited. So looks at mother-in-law and says, "Oh my god, mom." Mother-in-law looks at him, still holding my vitamins, and says, "What?" So tells everyone that I'm not pregnant, and they all kind of chuckle awkwardly. Then so tells mother-in-law to come with us into the kitchen. And I kid you not, she bursts into tears again and accuses me of lying to her, and how dare I humiliate her like that. I could not believe it. I asked her why she would assume something like that, and then I told her that I still had an IUD with no plans of trying anytime soon. She cried harder and told me that I was selfish and playing games with her, and that she just wanted to have a grandchild before she died. She was 56, FYI. I was on the verge of snapping when So ushered her outside to cool down. Amazingly, after all those years I held it in until after I left him. Then I let her have it, which felt so good. But for some reason, unbeknownst to me, his toxic relationship with his mom was super important to him, so I did my best to keep the peace when we were together, as did he, and I never had a baby with him. I get sick all the time, and sometimes it's something related to my stomach, so I end up nauseous or even puking. My mother-in-law will automatically assume that I'm pregnant. At the beginning of my relationship with her son, she called me a whore and told him that I was going to get pregnant as soon as I could to trap him and live off their money. So whenever I get sick, she has that "I told you so" look on her face. That's disgusting. I wish explosive diarrhea on this woman. She deserves it for being that presumptuous and mean. She's really terrible sometimes. She's that kind of person who thinks she's better than anyone else and like to judge, especially me. I wish explosive diarrhea on this woman. Wait, do you mean for her to develop a case of explosive diarrhea herself, or do you mean for explosive diarrhea to magically spout above her head and give her a thorough soaking? I mean, either is fine. I'm just curious. It's 2 days before US Thanksgiving, and I get a text at 7:30 AM from mother-in-law. "Can you make sides?" I'm attempting to keep it simple. "You're hosting, but I'm making your sides now." Yeah, I guess. That does sound simple. I know. This is a test. My colleague told me, screw that, bring canned green beans. I laughed and said, don't you think that's exactly what she wants? She doesn't want to do Thanksgiving and she's trying to get me to ruin it with last ditch low effort bullshit, so she won't be blamed. Nah, I'm not taking that buck you're passing. This lady is never going to ask me to cook again after she hears her family moaning in bliss over my mashed potatoes. I make some mean mashed potatoes. I'm spoiled AF. I have a KitchenAid mixer. I'm planning the menu tonight, playing supermarket sweep on my lunch break tomorrow, and cooking tomorrow evening. This isn't going to be satisfying for many of you, but when I'm able to, my policy is to kill my mother-in-law with kindness. If you want to give advice that I will use, drop me your favorite bourgeois AF but easy recipes, because seriously, this is crazy short notice and I absolutely do not have a menu planned. Playing games is fun. I'm a competitive wench. Mother-in-law cannot handle not getting her way, so we thought we avoided the Thanksgiving drama this year. Boy were we wrong. This is my first time posting on this sub, because I truly don't even know where to start with my mother-in-law. The latest incident occurred today. We told my in-laws a month in advance that we were celebrating Thanksgiving with my family this year. We alternate which holidays we celebrate where to keep it fair. My family totally understands this. My in-laws do too. All of them, except my mother-in-law. If she doesn't get her way she throws a temper tantrum like a child. In the past she has told me she loves arguing because it makes her feel alive, whatever the hell that means. So we were eating Thanksgiving dinner with my family and playing board games afterwards. So at around 7 PM she texts my dear husband saying she expected us to stop by that evening. Did I mention that we also have a baby now and he goes to bed early? So he didn't respond because she knew the plan this year was to spend it with my family and he didn't want to deal with her. But she wanted to see her grandbaby, so she wouldn't let it go. Eventually we head home because it's late and our baby needs to get to bed. So the weekend passes and here we are on Sunday. Mother-in-law calls dear husband, and from across the room I could hear every word that she screamed into the phone. I didn't even ask for much. Just to see you on Thanksgiving. I don't want to miss my grandson's first Thanksgiving. You knew how important this was to me. It's so unfair that Gilded Glitter's parents get to see him way more than I do. Is this how it's gonna be from now on? You choose them over me forever now? Dear Lord, dear husband has a solid backbone and basically told her to grow up, and that we already told her of our plans and that if she chooses to make a huge deal out of it then that's her fault. He also said that maybe if she spent more time focusing on her marriage she wouldn't be searching for the love she requires from her adult children so much. Dear God, I love him. I have so many stories of her craziness. Maybe I'll start posting some of the wild ones, because this one is nothing. We were given rocks to eat for Thanksgiving. Good thing we weren't there. My dear husband and I got home late last night from my aunt's Thanksgiving to several broken window and torn up plants, and our fence weirdly warped, and our dog gone. I immediately went looking for our dog, while my dear husband looked at our ring. For some reason we didn't get a notification. We could only afford one, but it did catch someone throwing what looked like a rock at our front living room window. I found our dog in less than 5 minutes. He is a big Anatolian shepherd who is scared of his own shadow. We adopted him 4 months ago, and he still makes me feel safe because he looks scary. We called the cops last night and talked to them again today. Despite the fact that we are sure 200% they say it's not enough proof because her face is never visible in the video and her car is never captured. We truly can't afford more cameras. But now I feel like we can't afford not to. It's sad to think that we will have to sacrifice my little one first Christmas for his safety from his grandparent. Edit 2. A friend of mother just texted dear husband to ask why mother-in-law had gotten stitches on her arm. Apparently mother-in-law told her it was our fault, but refused to elaborate. I'm guessing she got cut while destroying the front of our house. I want to take the text to the police and see if that is enough evidence for them to look into her breaking the law and new charges, but dear husband is convinced it won't help since it's just a text. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. See you all later.